What's up chaps, I'm MagicalMike and recently I did a video on my garages and cars in GTA5. I tend to like those sorts of videos where it's basically show and tell for games. I enjoy going back and looking at that sort of thing. It's got some nostalgia in it for me. However, there's a lot to talk about with GTA5 Online. I feel like I can't just show you some cars and be like, ah yeah, these are cool, and then leave it at that when the game is frankly riddled with problems. Having grinded for such a long time for what felt like at the time a fairly sizable number of cars, at least one best-in-class car for every class apart from the compacts, along with a bunch of fun extra ones and all the utility vehicles like the Cargo Bob and the Savage, I thought that I had a good-sized collection back then. And this was when the Bunker update was just about to come out, and I haven't played since. I don't remember when that was, so I guess I'll put a date on screen for that update. I spent just over 300 hours playing and grinding the online portion of GTA 5. Not just grinding, actually like playing it and having fun with it too. And I feel like I mostly had fun, and I had a lot of progression to go through, and I felt like I was getting somewhere. It was a slow start, but once I got into heists I made a chunk of cash pretty quickly, got the CEO status and then gained access to VIP missions, grinded those for a bit, got the Armoured Kuruma which made those missions and heists even easier, and then I moved on to get a Buzzard, and with that I used that to get the import-export car garage, and then grinding became a hell of a lot easier over that time. So grinding is an odd topic, some people like it and others don't. I typically don't mind it if I can see the rewards coming in from it at an okay pace, but most of the time I get bored, and it's just in that honeymoon period of the game where I can tolerate it a lot more. Well, I grinded import-export absolutely loads. If I remember rightly, I could make just over 300k an hour just by doing some easy pickup missions, driving a load of pretty cool cars and flying around in a helicopter in between. It was easy peasy, but repetitive as hell. Yet, I was mostly okay with it because I could buy a new car and kit it out completely every 3 hours or so. So I could get some new toy to play with every 1 or 2 days and then take it into races where I had the most fun with the game. See, I liked to play GTA for the A parts, the auto, the cars, the driving. The environment and the driving are what made the game fun to me. I was never into the shooting and the chaos, not since I was a kid playing Vice City for the first time. To me, GTA was a car collection game, the likes of which I haven't played since Gran Turismo on the PS1. So I like getting a new car in the game and then using it to try and win some races. The problem is you hardly ever get to use most of your cars in races because people usually turn off custom vehicles and typically only use the supers class, and then typically use only the best cars, so really you don't see much variety these days. And back then as well, which means, oh, that fun new muscle car I bought, probably never going to be able to drive it in any kind of a fun situation against other players. Well, I could always drive in free roam then, right? Yeah, well, sure. But then why grind for it in online? Why not just mod single player and then spawn it in to drive there, if I'm going to be in the normal map on my own? It's a huge shame. That and showing off cars and seeing other people's stuff is really part of the fun, and unless you're really joining a bunch of car meets and stuff that are typically very organised and not the easiest thing to just stumble into, you don't really get that experience. And this is where online free roam kind of falls apart nowadays as well. Back when I was grinding, we had a lot less tech in the game. There were no flying motorbike oppressors, no DeLoreans with missiles, no bomber planes, no missile battery military tech, no explosive round sniper rifles with thermal scopes, and no bloody orbital cannons to ruin your day. If people wanted to come and grief you and make your grind really difficult, then they'd have to get a Hydra or something and risk being turned on by the entire rest of the lobby. And you couldn't call a Hydra in on cooldown like you can with the Oppressor and the Motorcycle Club, so it wasn't nearly as bad. Now don't get me wrong, I had my fair share of ruined missions and wasted time, but nowadays I wouldn't even want to try grinding for anything in a public lobby, so hey, just make a solo public lobby, right? Again though, I wouldn't want to do that because I want to see players and stuff. I want to see the online environment happening around me, not just grind single player. And then of course there are modders, because I play on PC. They are everywhere and they are unstoppable. It's fun to see the insane hilarious things that they do, it's fun to get cash dumping on your bank for free, but it is not fun to get teleported into the ocean, or to get turned into a guitar and then flung across the map when you get into a car, or put into a cage and not be able to move, or whatever new trick they want to do to you. It's garbage. I hate it, and it ruins your fun. In fact, most of the time that happens, you actually have to restart the game client, and everybody knows that GTA loads like an Amstrad processor from 1931. It's not good, it's slow. So yeah, that's pretty rubbish. That's one good way to ruin your online experience. And after all of that, maybe you still want to play with some of the new cars and things? Well, since Rockstar are trying to sell their shark cards for real money, it means that all the prices of new cars, ever since like back when the game released I guess, and other vehicles and facilities are massively inflated. Millions for a Ford Focus RS, that's the Flash GT I think, over $1 million for an RS200, 5 million or more for a Jet, and then what am I going to even use it for afterwards? Probably not a lot. And don't get me started on all the phone calls and the NPCs and all the spam you have to deal with. Oh my god, make that stop, that's annoying as hell. So unbelievably annoying. No, I don't want to buy a bunker, or a nightclub, or a motorcycle club business, or a tesseract, or a crate warehouse, or an airfield, nor do I want to start the new heist, or the old heists, or some random jobs, or no, I don't want to go and do some shooting and stuff, Martin Madrazo, or anything else. Just stop calling me. Ah! And that, dear viewers, is why I stopped grinding GTA 5, because I came to the sudden realisation that I was no longer actually having any fun doing so. And that kinda sucks. It's the exact same reason that I originally stopped playing RuneScape back in the day. The end, I guess that's the story. But at least I can now look back on my little collection through this video now, right? Yay? Oof.